cocaine, amphetamine and weed and stuff like that. It was just really bad. I wouldn't see him for days on end, or back in half an hour and then I wouldn't see him. And then it'd be like, where are you? And then he'd put the phone down and I'd be like, and then he used to take my money. I'd throw his stuff out because he said he'd be back, and I wouldn't see him within 3 days, and he'd come back all pale, wanted to know where money is, and it's just really a nightmare. Because you got really bad at one point where you're skinny and...
Oh, he killed himself twice.
Skinny and it was just horrible.
The impact that an individual's addiction can have on their family is enormous. It can destroy lives, destroy families. It can cause major problems for children in terms of their growth and development. So that this is a huge opportunity here when we're working with families to repair some of that damage. The best way to do that is to do it with the whole family. The thing that's really interesting about Derby is the work we're doing with families. How did your mum's drinking affect you?
She was never there. I looked after my brother. I brought my brother up. I had to take him to school. I had to be late for school. I had to leave early from school to pick him up because she wasn't at home drinking. Yeah, it was hard.
How did you feel about that?
I hated it. Leaving me to go and fetch my brother and look after my brother, and I was like 9, 10 years old.
And do you think that's had any kind of impact on your drinking then?
Yeah, definitely.
In what way?
Because I swore blind that I'd never do it. But as times got harder and I got older and my son got older, and I just turned to drink and drugs.
Well, I was out with my friends a lot doing different drugs and always spending money. And
why do you think you started taking drugs then? What do you think?
I started quite young. I don't know. It was the thing.
How old were you?
13. It was the thing that was in, like, with my friends that I know. So that's all I've known, really.
There's not been any kind of history of drugs or alcohol in your family then?
Yeah, my sister, she was, she took heroin and crack when she was younger as well.
How much older than you is she?
8 years.
Do you think that had any kind of impact on what you were doing then?
I looked up to him. I suppose that was a bit like... I thought it was okay, if you know what I mean, to do that then.
It's hard to pinpoint, isn't it, where it starts, I think. I think the problem, my drinking started without realising, because I was brought up in a very large drinking family. In my family, we were allowed to have a drink underage with Sunday lunch, the odd evening, a party. And I'd be able to have, a little glass of wine or a sherry. I sort of grew up with alcohol being the norm. I've always been a very big family person. And my stepmum unfortunately died, and she was an alcoholic. And my dad was also an alcoholic.
I was in the army for 6 years. I was a fitness instructor. It all started from the army, really. I started drinking a lot, and it just carried on and spiralling out uncontrolled from there, really. Well, I came out of the army, and then my daughter was born, and she was very poorly. I had postnatal depression, and then I just started drinking heavily, and it didn't stop. My family said, I wouldn't have thought you would have this problem because you don't seem that kind of person, So yeah, I've been expected to be strong and sort it out, really. I wasn't going out the house at all. I was just secluded, really, and just drinking throughout the day.
I was a long-term heroin addict, almost 15 years on and off, and things got really bad for me. I almost lost my children.
How does that feel?
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. That was a big thing for me. That's you've got to stop now, or that's it.
Having Sarah to help and support you, what difference did Sarah make?
She's really easy to talk to. I've got key workers with other places and I just don't like them. Can't talk to them. They don't help at all. But I could talk to Sarah for hours and hours. You know.
Why do you think that is then?
I don't know. She's just a nice person.
Yeah, very.
She's understanding. You know.
I think it's quite hard. You can't be judgmental because at the end of the day, that's been your life, and you just need the support to acknowledge that, you know, you can have a better life. And your kids have been really affected by it, haven't they?
Yeah. When I first started taking heroin again after a few years off, you know, they saw me taking it, and that had a big effect on them. My middle child, he was almost a complete recluse inside himself. He wouldn't talk to anybody or anything.
There was one child that I remember, and she had, her dad had an overdose, a heroin overdose, and it was in the bathroom. And there was her mum then always used to complain that her daughter would never leave her. She wouldn't go to school. She would never let her go to the bathroom on her own. It was after exploring the options of what was wrong was the fact she was scared that her mum would have an overdose in the bathroom as well. So I think the impact around the extended family is quite significant.
There are thousands and thousands of children out there that get affected by their parents. Some agencies perceive parents who misuse drugs or alcohol as not being able to parent. And I think the majority of the time that's wrong, and they get stereotyped wrong. And I think the work we do enables us to get the parent to realise that they can parent the child. Yes, this is an issue, but we can work towards change.
The project is called Breaking the Cycle, which is all about the intergenerational addiction. How important do you think it is to break that cycle?
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard today from some of my clients that they've come from families who abuse substances, their parents, and then they've moved on to do the same. For them to actually say, I don't want my kids to end up like me, I don't want my son or daughter to go down the route I did, and I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen. I think it's really important because you see a cycle, it's definitely there.
Yeah.
And what is it that you do with them that has the greatest chance of breaking that cycle?
It's about family involvement and not working with separate groups, joining them as integrated together.
Yeah,
they're a family and you need to work as a family to address the issues within your family.
You can have other services where they offer support to an individual. We don't operate as individuals in our lives. We're all either related to somebody else, or we have friends, or, you know, we're at a workplace. We're all connected to other people. So to support somebody kind of on an individual basis, especially around kind of the work that we're looking at around impact and hidden harm and breaking that cycle, we need to look at the bigger picture and the wider family.
There's probably about 365,000 children growing up in this country today with a parent that has a drug problem. That's a significant number of children and young people. If you have got a parent who has a drug or alcohol problem, you are 7 times more likely to become addicted in later life yourself. So breaking that cycle of intergenerational addiction is absolutely critical.
When I come here, I was in a bit of a mess, and obviously doing this has helped me out greatly, getting into exercise and stuff. It's given me activities to do during the day, and it's just good stuff.
Well, you've seen the difference yourself, Tom, haven't you?
Oh, massively, yeah. Put weight on, I've got more confidence.
More eating better, nutrition better, hydrating more. Not only that, but your motivation's loads better as well.
It is, yeah.
You feel more self-esteem, feel good about yourself. That was something that's kind of lacking at the start.
Yeah.
I've seen massive changes. Great.
Cheers.
The service we provide here at Derby, it's the only place where we provide the gym at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
part of the Breaking the Cycle
pilot
programme.
scheme. So Derby are the first service that have actually fitted the full gym, and we've got a personal instructor, so it's really exciting.
So that's an added part of the family support we provide here.
Yeah, just go in the doors.
Tell us about Addaction then and what's happened when you've come to the service here at Derby.
Fantastic. I've been coming boxing probably up to 3 times a week, some weeks, which has helped me out a lot. Ian's been fantastic. Sarah, brilliant support, just to basically get me out the arse and a bit of normality, really.
What's the difference it's made to your family life then?
Oh, brilliant, because Sarah comes in, you know, she'll speak to the children love her. My husband knows Sarah. Because I'm getting help, they are very, very happy, very.
One of the differences about this family-based intervention that Sarah works on is that
because she helps us both, not just me or not just Kale. She helps us both. She's there for both of us, like family.
And how important is it that's you know, this is a great centre here, lovely,
we need
welcoming
more places
atmosphere.
like this for parents, not just women, as well as we need. You know, there's men out there who are single fathers. You know, they need help as well, and it is a really good place.
To be honest, until I've come here today, I've not realised the extent of what Addaction is. The feeling in the building alone is unbelievable. I've been sitting in a room which has homeopathic treatment in. I'm sat in here and I can see a drum kit and just the people around me. And I think it's knowing that you're not alone.
The organisation had this idea about supporting families several years ago, and we were lucky enough to get some funding from Zurich Community Trust to take this forward and pilot it. We delivered that for several years, and we partnered up with Bath University in order to have an independent study of the outcomes of such an intervention. The conclusions not only identified the significant success in terms of the outcomes, but also the financial savings to the public purse. So within 2 years, you're saving nearly £200,000 in terms of this intervention. Over a lifetime, you're talking close to £1 million worth of savings. Now, we've identified this at Addaction, and we know we can make a difference. So our intention is to roll this out across the country.
So let's say an alcohol service is working with the client individually. They're addressing their alcohol issues, which is great because maybe that's the big trigger to all the problems within the family. And yes, they look at the safeguarding aspect, etc., but they don't actually go into the family environment. They don't actually see the children. They don't work with the children. And I think because the children know who I am and they know why I'm there, it's nice for them and it's reassurance for them. I mean, Owen comes here and plays on the Wii while Emma's at the boxing. I've sat here with Shona and we've done drawings and it was lovely, and I've got it stuck on my desk wall. She drew a picture and she put on the top, "Thank you, Sarah, for helping my mummy." And it's lovely because she knows that when I go there, that's what I'm there for.
It's a fantastic feeling that, you know, from the project that we've, the Breaking the Cycle project is achieving these fantastic changes and instilling some kind of behaviour change in these families.
What does the future hold for you now? What are you looking forward to?
I don't know everything. I think I feel like I'm such a nicer person now and a better person. I just feel like I could take on anything.
Okay,
and you have done though, haven't you? Because Sophie's working now, accessing the gym, and that's something else that again that you kind of want to continue. You're looking at doing some voluntary work. You want to do a course at university, so she's kind of looking at lots of kind of new things, aren't you? Which is, you know, fantastic.
Yeah.
Emma is a fantastic mum. She's an amazing mum. She interacts amazing with the kids. She's always doing things with the kids. And clean.
See, that's what I mean.
She's been clean now for 8 days.
fantastic, well done, yeah.
She's got rid of all of her injecting equipment and she looks so much healthier. That's the first thing I said to you when we walked through the door yesterday. She seems happier.
He's occupied all the time. He's always got like something to do. Either Addaction, he's always going there. Without them, I don't know, we wouldn't even be together, I don't think.
My role as head of the Breaking the Cycle is about embedding Breaking the Cycle as part of Addaction's culture, as part of what we do. This shouldn't be seen as an additional service. It should be part of the fabric of what Addaction does as a treatment intervention. And hopefully, you know, if we can prove it within Addaction, then we can deliver it as a treatment system as a whole with other agencies and partners involved.
They've just helped us with everything. She comes round, she talks to me, if anything's on my mind, then she'll talk to me, and then she'll get us both talking to each other, which it brings out where I know what Tom's feeling. Instead of him bottling things up, then I know what he's feeling, and he knows what I'm feeling, which is really good. And then he goes there every week to do the gym, which is really good. And then now they're talking about getting him on to do some courses.
I can tell you this kind of support changes people's lives for the better. I met a guy in Tower Hamlets. He was desperate to get his son back. Mother wasn't around. He was the only chance that son was going to have of a family, but he had to sort out his addiction. Our Breaking the Cycle worker in Tower Hamlets worked intensively with him over a number of months, and when I met him, he was talking very positively about his life, and there alongside him was his 9-year-old son. And that is what Breaking the Cycle is all about.